The morning sun had barely broken through the gray mist when Agent Michelle Carter merged onto a quiet suburban road. She was on her way to a briefing, another day in a life built on discipline, courage, and quiet resilience. But this day would remind her that even the badge she earned through sweat and sacrifice could not shield her from prejudice. Her sleek black SUV glided smoothly until flashing red and blue lights exploded behind her. The shrill scream of a siren shattered the calm. Michelle frowned, glancing at the speedometer. She wasn't speeding. Still, she pulled over calmly to the side of the road, rolled down her window, and waited. A police cruiser stopped behind her. The door slammed. Heavy boots approached. Then came the barked order. "Step out of the vehicle! Hands where I can see them." The voice was sharp, aggressive. Michelle's instincts kicked in. She'd faced armed criminals and cornered fugitives, but there was something different in this man's tone. A venom not born of fear, but bias. "Officer," she said calmly, "I'm a federal agent. Please lower your weapon." The officer, a white man in his late 30s, his badge gleaming on his chest, sneered. "Don't move. Don't you lie to me. License and registration. Now." Michelle's pulse quickened. "I'm reaching for my badge," she said steadily, moving slowly. "It's in my jacket pocket." The cop's hand tightened around his gun. "I said, don't move." She froze, then carefully lifted the gold badge from her jacket. "Federal Bureau of Investigation," she said, holding it where he could see. But the man only scoffed. "Fake badge. I've seen your kind before. Always pretending to be something you're not." And then, before she could speak again, he yanked open her door, grabbed her arm, and slammed her against the hood. The cold metal bit into her skin. "You're making a mistake," Michelle said, her voice calm but trembling. He cuffed her roughly. "You think you can flash a toy badge and talk your way out of a stop?" he growled. Michelle said nothing. She'd learned long ago that silence could be more powerful than anger. Minutes later, the sound of more sirens filled the air, but these were different. Sharper. Urgent. A black SUV screeched to a stop behind the patrol cars. The door flew open, and Special Agent in Charge Vanessa Holt stepped out, commanding, furious, and radiating authority. Her sharp eyes landed on the scene, her agent pinned to a hood, a local cop holding her at gunpoint. Her jaw tightened. "What in God's name is going on here?" she thundered. The officer stammered. Ma'am, she was resisting arrest. Claimed to be FBI." Vanessa's voice dropped an octave, cold and cutting. "Claimed?" She stepped closer, towering over him. "That's Agent Michelle Carter. One of my best. You just assaulted a federal officer." The cop blinked, color draining from his face. I didn't know. She didn't look." Vanessa's eyes flashed. "Didn't look like one of us. What does that mean, officer? Because she's a woman? Because she's black?" The silence that followed was deafening. The other officers looked away, shame written across their faces. Vanessa stepped forward, her voice low and sharp as a blade. "You aimed your gun at an innocent woman doing her job. A woman who's protected this country while you let your prejudice do the policing." She reached up and ripped the badge from his chest. The sound of the metal tearing from the fabric echoed like thunder. "You've disgraced this department," she said coldly. "You're done." The cop stepped back, speechless. His authority, his identity, was gone in an instant. When the scene finally cleared, Michelle sat on the curb, wrists sore but spirit unbroken. Vanessa knelt beside her, helping her remove the cuffs. "I'm sorry you had to go through that," Vanessa said softly. "You handled it with more strength than anyone should ever have to." Michelle gave a faint, sad smile. "It's not the first time," she said. "But I hope it's the last." Vanessa sighed. "It will be, not just for you, for everyone who's ever been made to feel smaller while doing their duty." She stood and looked toward the horizon. "We'll make sure of that." Michelle rose beside her. The two women, one young and rising, the other seasoned and unyielding, stood together in silence as the morning light broke fully through the clouds. There was pain in Michelle's eyes, but also pride. She'd faced down injustice before, but this time she had been seen. Protected. Valued. Vanessa placed a hand on her shoulder. "Remember this, Agent Carter," she said quietly. "Power isn't just about the badge. It's about the courage to wear it with honor, even when others try to strip it from you." Michelle nodded. The words sank deep into her chest, like armor reforged from the heat of humiliation and resolve. As they walked back to the SUV, the road stretched out ahead, long, uncertain, but open. And for the first time that day, Michelle allowed herself to breathe. Justice had spoken, not through revenge, but through truth, and the unbreakable bond between two women who refused to bow to prejudice. Respect should never depend on gender or skin color. Authority doesn't come from the badge on your chest. It comes from the integrity in your heart. If you believe that dignity should never be debated, make your opinion heard. Like this video, share it everywhere, and let us know in the comments where you're watching from and which moment impacted you the hardest. Subscribe and enable alerts for more stories in which arrogance falls and justice rises.